Has success ever gotten in the way of your friendships? Jamie Dornan told Entertainment Tonight that Robert Pattinson became so famous after Twilight that he was in a different stratosphere than his roommates, which at the time included Dornan, Andrew Garfield, Charlie Cox, and Eddie Redmayne. That is a house I would like to have visited at some point in time. But do you start losing friends the more successful you become?
Okay, yeah, can we just go back to that, the house you wanted to visit? Did anyone else know that these five were roommates?
I heard a podcast with Jamie Dornan recently, so I did know. I did know.
Lainey did, but it's your
Obsessed.
job, yeah. You had to have known, I hope.
Yeah.
Mel didn't know.
I'd like to hear more
Whole
details.
class of-
I had no idea, and I was I want to know more about that. I mean, it's a great story, first of all, but I want to know more about that first.
Yes, someone's got to go back and do a history program. Hey, listen, you know what it reminded me of, though? Sort of our former colleague, Marcy Ian. She didn't become a celebrity actor, but she became a member of Parliament. And there are times when I don't reach out to her in the same way because I think, oh, well, Marcy, she's literally probably at the UN right now giving a speech. The last thing she wants to do is hear from me. But then hearing Robert Pattinson being like, that was probably a time in his life where he maybe needed those connections the most because his life had changed so much post-Twilight, and to have those friendships still in place probably would have done him a world of good. Poor Robert Pattinson.
Wasn't it hard, though, because they're all in the same industry? Maybe, like, I don't want to say there was jealousy. I'm sure they were very, very happy for his success, but they were all in the same industry. So even though, let's say, we're all friends, our outside and other group friends are not necessarily industry people. And so for me, it's not about the success, which ultimately kind of you start to deal with your own stuff, maybe, but it's also money. Like, money starts to become a difference if you start to hit. I mean, he's got stratospheric success, right? But that is where I can see with some friend groups that it can become an issue. It's not just the success, it's you're now making $1 gajillion and I can't afford to go out or travel with you anymore. And that I can see getting in the way of friendships.
And family. You know, Jennifer Lopez recently talked about this in Rolling Stone. She was like, you know, I think my family, after all these years, is still weirded out by what I've become and who I am, this icon. And she said, you know, that for them, it was like, okay, well, now she's this. And what does that mean? How much do I expect? How much do I ask for? And how much do I not? There's confusion, there's resentment, and very mixed, complicated adult feelings. I mean, again, she's been at this for 30 years, and she sounds like, you know, it's a give and take situation still, trying to figure it out. So I think with fame and success, everything becomes weird, even like logistics. You know, when you're friends with a really famous person, even going out to dinner and where is an issue. Not the cost of it, but like, when they go out for dinner, people TikTok it, and then the paparazzi show up. You have to think about that. You also have to think about, like, how much can I talk about the person I know who is so famous now? I don't want to seem like I'm name-checking them. I don't want to feel like people to think that I'm bragging about being friends with this person who I knew before they won all the awards. But everything becomes weird. Do you invite them to the birthday party? Do you not? It's very strange. Fame is such an X factor.
I think what's interesting, though, is like, outside of fame, because a lot of people maybe haven't had that experience, but even just the success part, which Mel was touching on, I can imagine a scenario whereby, like, I went to film and television school, and if all of my friends were in the industry really working well, and if I had wanted to do that, but didn't succeed, I would find it difficult to hang out with them. It'd be different if I decided, at the end of the day, I don't want to do that. I'm going to become a teacher or something else. But if you imagine
sort
that
of the
feeling,
envy?
I think that would be a palpable. I do know people who've been successful in their own right, and their friends who were not so successful, who still want that kind of success, have just been. It's a difficult relationship because how do you talk about your successes? How do you talk about your day-to-day life without seeming like the jerk who's kind of bragging, right?
Or on the other side, it not seeming like you're the person always trying to slip the screenplay to your, actor friend. It's like, no, I just want you to have a read.
Yeah.
You know, and then always feeling like I can't talk about my projects or my work because friend, a more successful friend, is going to think that I'm trying to get help.
Right.
Or,
Yes.
yeah, very, very complicated, as Lainey said. Fame.
But I do want to go back to that crew.
Yeah.
It clearly worked. You know, birds of a feather. So maybe that initial Twilight success for Pattinson was what really lit an extra big fire under the tushes of the other guys. Because, I don't know, isn't Redmayne an Oscar winner? Dornan? We've all seen him naked. I mean, they've done good things.
Yeah. My mother personally thanks
And
Jamie
all of
Dornan.
them-
He's brought her so much joy. So there's that as well.